with an example of an old jati from Kalakshetra many years back. From I will go like that, how it used to be and how what it has come to now. That is how it is evolving. Of course, in my opinion, I have not changed the structure as much in the name of fusion, confusion, innovation, and all these new names. I don't want to confuse myself. I know only one Natyam. So I will first, because this is another thing. What is it that you're going to do? What new things are going to do? There's nothing. God has created this great art long back. Like I said, we are only a drop in this ocean. We should not take credit for unnecessary things. But only thing is, what has happened is, in the run, all these years, the Natyam format has evolved, some for the betterment, some not so much. So some of it has become sensational. So the essence of it, the certain important ingredients which was there, is necessary as far as I'm concerned, has deviated and taken its route. So we'll take one jati from the previous one, then we'll go to the jati which we have created, and then I will explain what we will do. We'll address only the jati and the nritta part of it for the time being. Okay? Do you need this slide or no?
No, it's fine.
The way it was?
It's fine without this?
It's fine. Oh, it's nice like that, actually. Thank you.
Ranjini, can you please mute? Yeah, all of you, can you please mute your phone? Sorry, Zoom.
So I hope you all warm up before you dance, because that's another subject by itself. Stretching, warming up before you dance. Now that I was speaking, my warm up, I had warmed up, it had cooled down, and I have a bit of an injury, so I will not be very good, but I'll manage. Okay. Dadan, kutaka, dikutaka, dingitum, dikutakata, dikutakata, dadan, kutaka, dikutaka, so there is this jati is an old jati, meaning dance composition. As much as people try to say choreography, it is not choreography, it is dance composition. Many people have started saying choreography. These are not choreographies. These are all dance compositions. So this was set many years. So pretty much it is straightforward. If you see, it's just a pattern. Brahmari, Dalan, finished. This is how it was. Now, I will take a small example of what we do now, keeping all this as base. Presently, what it has come to. One second. So I will take few seconds before speaking. If I dance, I continue.
Of course, Anna, of course. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I need thousands eyes.
If I dance, I won't stop, but when I speak, I get. So on to next jati. So now we had no meaning, no sahityam in it. So next, the one when you're dancing a jati as a character. So this jati is just a varnam jati. It has no meaning per se, although I had used all these shikarams and pointing all this for a particular reason, because it's part of a sahityam which was going to come later in that varnam. So I was giving a prelude to that is the reason I had used all this. Likewise, in jati where you use syllables and as a character, like for example Shiva. So when Shiva dances a jati, one second. Okay, so this is actually ideas were, I mean, we spoke about it. It is Mahalakshmi Akka who compiled this together. But idea was this is for a Shiva Navarasa. So this was Navarasa, Shiva Navarasa. So Shiva, when he starts his dance in a Kanaka Sabai, how he explodes into his energy is what it is. It talks about using of the sound. So it will say dham, dham, dham. Then it will say vedam, vedam, nal vedam, chatra vedam, nadam, sound, nadam, that sound, nadam. And gati, gati, laya, shruti, talam. Gati, laya, shruti, talam. And he says om, 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 Shiva, om, omkaram, and Shiva hastam. And mrugam, we used word mrugam because in the jati will bring mrugam. Then he danced Natam and Raja Tandava Nartanam, Damarukam. So we have used all this. You will see how this, and you can ask a question about it. It's part of a Shiva Navarasa. We have compiled this very beautifully, but I might not execute it very well now because I have a rib cage little issue here, but bear with whatever I can.
जगन्मोह नटन राजसभापति जगन्मोह नटन राजसभापति Gati laya shruti talam dum dum tagadimi tagadum dum 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 rupam Om Namah Shiva Hastam Rigam Druputakanaka Druputakanakanatam Raja Tandava Nartanam Tadim Tadim Nakatadi Tadi Takatari Gidakatari Gidadom Tanang Gidanam Nam Gidanang Gidanam Tadim Tadi Nakatadi Tadi Takatari Gidakatari Gidadom Tanang Gidanam Nam Gidanang Gidatagadang Gidatatom Tajum Tanam Taram Tatagadang Gidatatom Tajum Tanam Taram Tatatajum Tanam Takita Takatari Gidatak Om Kara Rim Kara Tadim Tarigidataga Takadim Tarigidataga Takadim Tadim Tarigidataga Tajum Tanam Takita Takarigidataga Om Kara Rim Kara Tadim Tarigidataga Takadim Tarigidataga Takadim Tadim Tarigidataga Tajum Tanam Takita Takarigidataga Om Kara Rim Kara Tadim Tarigidataga Takadim Tarigidataga Takadim Tadim Tarigidataga Jaganmohan Rajasabhapati
Okay, while I take a breath, if you have questions quickly.
Nandini, I think you had a question.
Namaskaram, Anna. Thank you
Namaskar.
so much. That was fascinating, that Korve. I'm very interested to learn about
Not Korve, Jati.
Jati. That's all.
Korve, Jati is different.
Okay. Next, like them, I will learn the difference. And I'm interested to know about how, because you were mentioning about innovating within Bharatanatyam, and from where it began, how did it change to what it is today? And do you see it continuing to sort of change in what, into the future in terms of, for example, the way that the adavus are used, or the fact that we have something called a margam now, which maybe wasn't present when it, in its
Okay. We'll try to keep this because I want to demonstrate a lot. So margam is not new. Margam was always there. It's just that people didn't know the name. From the repertoire is margam. That is Bharatanatyam repertoire in the recent times. That is when it became Bharatanatyam. So margam existed. Okay. Now, where is it headed is what I was talking little earlier, saying how much, because this innovation is, sometimes this word is used loosely. What is innovation? Sometimes I get confused, because see, for example, this adavu or whatever adavus which are, it's all existing. It's just how you adapt, how you use for what, the reason behind it. Is there a reason to do this or not? That is what has changed. It could have now be meaningful. Let's say we made this meaningful because Shiva is dancing here. He has arrived in his Kanaka Sabai and he is showing his Tandava. So at that time, suppose I was doing a Jati, which didn't compile any of these things, it would not have made sense. But then people earlier would not have thought about it like that. This is what I said. Our Natyam has evolved and it is evolving. How much of it should you stretch going forward is like, each person's taste, their basic values, and why they are doing. I mentioned this. Why they do this? Is it to prove that I can do more? Is it to show that my knowledge is so much superior than the other person, so I will do all this circus, or so? Is it like that, or does it fit in? So it's again, it's a learning process for all of us. So it's never a one answer for this. It's never one answer. So now I hope I have answered you, but you can always contact me. I will answer you even further in detail. I have no problems. You can call me and ask me these questions also, and I don't mind, with your teacher's permission. So we will next go on to what are we thinking of? Okay, so now, we addressed Shiva and Shiva's Tandava and that Jati. So how the Jati was used with various other syllables apart from, Tadiku Dinku Takata, for example, we have put all these syllables put together with the same Kanak. It's also called Masranarutta. I know, it's another subject. So we have put all this together. Now, we address Shiva. Shiva is common. I mean, everybody dances the Shiva. So now we will do something about Lord Ganesha. Now, Ganesha, again, you must imagine Ganesha now. When I composed this dance, I kept in mind that he has a pot belly, Pilyar has huge belly, and he's also, in this song which we chose, he's a Nartana Ganapati, meaning he's a dancing Ganapati. So he has to dance. So he has a huge paunch. So we can always imagine, with a huge paunch, how can you dance? So that is to show you the little bit of humor in it. We will show you a little bit of, it's a humor in it, and how we have put this together. We'll show you. The syllables, Gam Ganapati. And again, the syllables, you will hear Gam Ganapati and all that. It's not the usual Jati format. And music also you want to mention. So that we will explain later.
You want the Moshika thing first or the Jati first? What do you want me to play?
First Jati.
ब्रह्माधरि तो मृदंगति वाज तो तुम दिन दिन दिमित दिमित दिन दिन तुम दिन दिन दिमित दिमित दिन तुम दिन दिन दिमित दिन 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 कुदन कुजम तंग दरिगिड़ दिंगड़ दरिगिड़ तंगड़ दिंगड़ दरिगिड़ दिन दिन कुदन कुजम तंग दरिगिड़ दिंगड़ दरिगिड़ तंगड़ दिंगड़ दरिगिड़ गण 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 तद्दीन 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 दिमि 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 ब्रह्माधरि तो मृदंगि वाज तो गणराज नाथ.
So I'm going to show very little bit. So if you saw what I did, open.
Yeah, it's okay. You can go.
Have you seen? So I was showing the tope. So holding this, he's holding it. His weight is sagging, his tope is going like this. Imagine it's going like this. So I don't have the confidence, but I got so he's enjoying his tope also dancing with it. So he's doing his modikam, he's happy dancing like this. Then he goes, then when he jumps, he realizes he wants to jump and dance, but he's going losing balance. He's losing balance. So all this little bit of fun I have used in these jatis. So this is the so-called innovation limited, what we are doing. We'll do another bit.
गणराज रंगी नाच तो गणराज रंगी नाच तो गण गण तदीम दीम तंगड़ दरिगड़ तदीम दीम तजम नम तंगड़ दरिगड़ तजम गण 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 तदीम गणराज रंगी नाच तो.
Thank you so much. No words. Thanks, Deepa. That's his wife, yeah?
Yeah. So we have brought in the humor part of angle in it. So there is a bit of story behind it, even while you're enacting a jati. So this is, I wanted to show you the different kinds of jatis. We'll go on to, next we'll go on to Hanuman. Okay. So we have addressed Shiva, we have addressed Ganapati. Now we will address Hanuman, how he could be enacting a jati. If you have any questions, please keep in all this, whether it is Shiva or Ganapati, which I did now, and the next one coming up, hold it. After this, when I take a breath, you can ask me a question on this. How much time left? I'm speaking fast because thinking I should do as much as possible.
We have roughly half an hour, just under half an hour.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, we'll see. So this jati, which I'm going to dance, is work in progress. Okay, it's still work in progress. I mean, everything I do is work in progress. Nothing is, I don't believe anything is perfect. It's always work in progress. So what I'm going to do now, right now, I could make mistakes. If I do, we will repeat. I'm one of those guys, Radhika will know, even on stage, I will make a mistake and I'll say I will repeat it.
True. Very true.
Anumane allal Peeru Karubane Anumane allal Peeru Okay. So, any questions now in this about we have addressed Nritta in form of adavus, jatis, and some do call jatis as korves. Korves are different and jatis are different. If you have any questions till now, go ahead, shoot.
Any questions, anyone? I might ask you one, Anna. That's okay.
Sure, sure.
So
I mean, the whole idea itself is that if they don't see one thing, I tell my students one thing. Don't think that by asking a question, that is asking meaning which you don't know, not adhika prasangi question. But if you don't know something, it's always best to ask and find out rather than assume we know, because that is actually it will go nowhere. I mean, you will never learn. So if they want to know something, it's a good time to know.
yes.
Yeah.
You explained that you do certain jatis or steps to suit the actual dance. So for example, you explained the shikarakyo like for doing it that way because it makes sense. Do you believe maybe that it's okay to adjust steps according to the dancer and their particular movement style, their ability? Or do you think the dancer should have the capacity to make them adaptable to whatever the form that they're learning?
Okay, it's a very good question. I mean, I actually wanted to address this right in the beginning. See, I will say this in two parts. One is that you are asking about students about their ability, but this question has two answers, but it's the same answer. So when I teach our students in our school, I do adopt. There are certain advice which suits me. There are certain advice which doesn't suit me at all. So I mean, when my body tells me, I mean, with my experience, it tells me that you should do this at this age, you shouldn't do this at this age. And if it is my own dance composition, I have the liberty to change a little bit here and there as and when required for myself. And to students, the same varnam or same some song will never be taught to all the students because of their ability. We'll never teach them the same way because, like you said, many things don't suit many. So we kind of look at their strengths and weaknesses and we teach them accordingly. But having said all of this, the Natyam, right in the beginning, the Shastram itself says, Javastiratvam rekha cha brahmari, drishti rashtramaha, medha shraddha vacho geetam. You have to, if you want to be a good performer, these days, good performer itself doesn't mean anything. You've got to be excellent to excel. You know, I mean, good itself doesn't suffice. These 10 javam, speed, stiram, like when you turn and stop, you should not be moving. Stiram, rekha, clean lines, angashuddham. Java, stiram, rekha, brahmaris, you know, turns and twists and brahmari. Medha, you have to be intelligent. Shraddha, you have to be dedicated. Vacho, your clear speech, you should be able to even sing and speak well to understand or ask even a question. Your clarity has to be there for speech. You Geetam, you should be able to sing. Only when you can sing, you can dance better, especially bhavam part of it. When you can sing, when you can enjoy it, your bhavam, your expression is always better. So the main ingredients right in the beginning itself, this is there. This is the prescription for you to be a good, very good performer. I hope I answered all of your.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Anna. We have another question. Sudakshana, if you want to unmute yourself, please.
Sure, thank you. Namaskaram, Anna. I have a question on how.
Girl? Who is asking? Can I see her?
Namaskaram, my name is Sudakshana, Anna.
Yeah, but
A bit dark, Sudakshana.
Can you see me on video?
Okay. That's okay. I didn't. Don't want to start. Go ahead.
So Anna, when I go watch performances, I do notice that a lot of performances are moving towards theater a lot. Like I can see more with Bharatanatyam, more real emotions coming on stage and natural emotions that are displayed. Is there a fine line between how much you can show when you compose, as how much you should aspire to go towards real or stay within bounds? I don't know if that question made sense, but
it is a good question. But the only problem here is that it depends on who is doing this. Okay, so like I write in the beginning, I was telling you what is the boundary as per the books is in terms of Natya Shastra or Abhinaya Dharmana. Even Natya Shastra says everything has scope to improvise. But how much do you improvise is anybody else. It depends on your aesthetics. That's why I said your values, your aesthetics, how much can you do? Like you don't want to go on stage. I mean, if you ask me, I can only talk for myself. I cannot tell others what to do, what not to do, because it's their, you know, I mean, after some time, I can tell my student, my people who are under my control, I can tell them, this is not good for you, this is not done. This is where your boundary is, your limit is, I could say this. But somebody beyond that, I have no control. So I can only talk about myself. So like, for example, Shringara per se, how much Shringara can you do on stage? You cannot show a bedroom scene on the stage, can you? You cannot. So all those things you've got to be subtle. So like, for example, there are lots of dancers who do, see, that's the difference between Lokadharmi and Natyadharmi. There is two. One is Lokadharmi, another is Natyadharmi. So when you say come, even if you hold the mudra slightly different, but still mudra is there. If you say, like suppose you say come. So like if we show that is obviously, that is not Natyadharmi. So that is how much we can think of, how much clarity you have in your head to when you create this, or when you say, when you're playing to the galleries, when you are dancing to audience, you end up doing too many things. In fact, I was going to come to the subject anyway. The theater part of it, again, all this is today what is happening is one-upmanship. Like, what do I do more? What do I do something better or new or innovative? All these new phrases they have, so that I excel. I'm better than, they will see me do this. This kind of thing in their mind is making them do what you are saying. So, but some of us are, I would say I am level-headed. I know my boundaries, and I have spent all my life learning this art form. So I can only tell my students and within my control that what is not aesthetic, not or what is not Natya Dharmi. Because Loka Dharmi, it's nothing but cinema. Like if you do whatever they do in cinema, we are classical art form, right? So classical art form has these values. They have the boundaries. They have these shastrams. They have these mudras. They have all these technicalities. If we cross that, it goes towards Lokadharmi. So the minute it goes away from Natadharmi, Lokadharmi, and it'll go to a popular entertainment, which is cinema and things like that. So how much you want to do, we have to grow up and understand this is all I want to do. So it's also your upbringing. It's about your teacher who teaches your values. It is also about your understanding what you want to be. That is what we want to be. I hope
that answers my question.
Okay.
Anna, we do have one more question. Would you prefer to have one at the end, or you're okay to continue with another question?
No, let's use.
Okay, sure. Lakshanya, did you want to ask your question?
Hi, namaskaram, Anna. My question was just about before you did the Jadis taking the character of Ganesha or taking the character of Shiva. So how would it be if you were to do a Jadi taking the character of someone who maybe we all don't know the characteristics of? So maybe like a common man, or have you ever done that before? Or like, and how would you go about showing, a character that no one really knows has a backstory about? For example, you know how you showed Ganesha and we know he has a big stomach or something. How would you do that for someone who's not so, well known?
So normally when you take a subject like that, you do a lot of research. You don't take up a subject which you don't know of. You always, and also somebody like me, I pick and choose a character or a song or theme only if it interests me or if it touches my heart. I don't take up something like that. But we also say dance is universal language, right? So we should be able to do other things. So we have done living tree. I'm sure Radhika has seen tree. Nobody knows how a tree can dance, meaning we can only watch a tree. We can only watch a tree, how it moves, how it sways, it is all our imagination. Look, this is observation. I mean, if you take up a theme, you have to have an understanding of that. So suppose I think of, I want to do something about a tree. I sit and watch the tree. What all I can do is this. So, I mean, that's how you understand what you want to do with the tree and how it dances or how it might not dance, when it is still, when it is breathing, when it is swaying. This is observation. This understanding is very important, because we just want to throw something which is not something which you actually don't want to do, or just for the sake of it, then it doesn't work. That's why you have to have heart there in the right place for you to take up. Having said that, for example, we have also done something in earlier production called Kanya. A sculptor, he's looking at these three girls meaning he has already sculpted this. He has brought the form already. It is already there. Now, this is, I'm a man. I mean, I hope there are younger girls. But when you look at this girl, look at this is all this in great shape. I have created this. What if this comes alive? Now I'm the author of this, meaning I brought this into this shape. Okay, I've built this sculpture. Now, if suppose this comes to life, how will it be? So the imagination. So I made a dream world that girl comes alive and I dance with her. So this is how you have to put in work behind it. You can't just take up something like you said. Yes, Ganesha, you can know something. Hanuman, you know something. Shiva, you know something. Rama, you know something. These are things which are there always. So obviously you will have a better grip and understanding doing this. Unknown territory, because it is unknown territory, we have to know it in the first place. Then you venture into it. Otherwise, it will not work. Simple, it won't work.
In continuation of that, this Kina Kina with the school bag we had done in Living Tree.
So in the Kina, so in Living Tree, Radhika as an example, there is no God character in any of the character was a tree. Not even tree is there at the backdrop, but the soul is dancing. So imagination of what all it can feel inside within. It's all your imagination.
What all happens
and what all happens around the tree, and when it's cut, how it cries. All this in your body language I showed. So all this has been done, and the children going to school. We were all grown up, meaning the dancers I had chosen, they were already probably 25, 30 years old. So we formed the jati like this, like the like we use the voice like that, and they jump and play. We don't do adavus there. We use the syllables. We use we turn, jump, fall down, go do somersault, fall on each other. We use like that. So that's dramatizing.
And even the teacher.
And we use the teacher, for example, the teacher, the master in the school, he'll come like this, tom, tom, is a mean teacher. So he's a mean teacher portrayed in a certain way. So you have to have imagination, you have to have observation, you have to have understanding, you have to put in a lot of your mind and soul into something if you want to do something. Otherwise, it doesn't work well. I mean, it will be one of those things.
You can see Aada Hodale if we have time.
Okay, now, okay, we wanted to show you something before that. Can we play that now?
Sure.
Yeah, because I was going to address Bhavam, in close, how to address this, but if we have time, we'll do that, but please show them that.
Okay.
You want to tell them?
Ravina, can you order? Yeah, she's. Yeah.
There are two. They can shoot both. They can show both if they have time. Water, please.
ಅಡಿಕೊಂಬುವರು ನೋಡಮ್ಮ ಆಡ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲೇ ಮಗಳು ಅಡಿಕೊಂಬುವರು ನೋಡಮ್ಮ ಆಡ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲೇ ಮಗಳು ಅಡಿಕೊಂಬುವರು ನೋಡಮ್ಮ ಆಡ
Can we stop for a second?
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
We have just under 5 minutes, Anna.
So I guess we cannot, if we do that, then we will not have. So actually this answers some of the questions some of you girls wanted to know. So this is again, like I'm an old man, I'm enacting a small boy. Krishna is he's Adahodale in Kannada. He's a child. He's one of those little. He belongs to child category. So for me, I have to imagine myself to be a child, to do how I get angry, how I'm being teased, and I go to my mother. So and there is a little bit of lokadarmi in this itself. But if I don't have the lokadarmi, if I do it the exact kalakshatra way, the mudras and everything, the part, the character which I want to play there will not come out. So how much of you want to go, how much that the boundary which we were talking about, without crossing this is my boundary. So I can only talk for, this is my boundary. I mean, there are boundaries where, you take your life and do all, that is not my boundary, but this is my boundary. Anyway, I mean, there's one more, I mean, we can go on and on. This is about, this was a subject last year, they asked me to do about Nayaka, about, the subject Nayaka, Nayaki, all these are different, like, Hanuman Wal Madri explain Pointer Koi, all these things are one day, have 1 hour doesn't, for me, especially for somebody like me, because I've spent lifetime learning this art form. So 1 hour, I wanted to do everything possible for Radhika and you kids. If you have more questions, you please go ahead and ask me, because before it, because I was going to show Vatsalya Bhavam, the Nike Bhavams and all that. I don't think, I mean, we do not have time to do all of it, as I realized. But if you have questions within this time limit, please go ahead and ask.
Yeah, we have a bit of time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions, if anyone has anything. No? Okay.
Ask tough questions where I don't know the answer.
We've been told you do like a challenge, so.
Yeah. My life itself is a challenge.
That is true. Yes, especially this year was very much a challenge for many of us.
No, I'm talking about as an artist, my life, it's a challenge. So
yes. If there is no more questions.
How come? Then I have to ask them, did they understand everything? Yeah, they should have. I would have imagined they would have hundreds of questions. If I were in their place, I would be asking questions, especially if I didn't understand.
But
I danced so well, they understood everything.
That probably, yes, that is also true. We were absolutely amazed by the way you danced, and I cannot, like, I think I'm probably a little bit younger than you, but there is no way I can dance like that. So that was absolutely amazing to watch. Thank you so much.
Somebody is saying they want to see Vatsalya Bhavam, but before we start, it will be gone. I mean, we have to play the music, and yeah, how many? 2 minutes? 3 minutes?
Yes.
I have to turn to become a mother. Before I become a mother, I think it will be.
Yeah, unfortunately, and I'm so sorry, Lakshanya. Lakshanya was the one who asked.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can call me. I mean, we will always.
Yeah, I just shared Anna's number on the chat. So anyone, please feel free to contact him. So I'm sure anytime he doesn't mind. And, if you want to have one-on-one classes, please feel free to contact him anytime.
Okay. Right at the beginning, I was going to say something so before we close. So the most important, before you all become dancers, it's my theory that we all become good human beings. Then your dance, your Natyam, because when we speak when you say I dance, I cannot say I Natyam'd, because Dhananjay sir, if he's listening to me, he will tomorrow, he will give me a lecture on Natya and dance. So unfortunately, when we speak, we have to say dance. So you as on stage as a performer, your inner self the person you are has to reflect on your in your dance. When you perform, you have to become a good person. You have to have the right values and all that for your dance to be seen in a better way. I'm unable to explain that well because my mind, the time constraint is there. And another thing about is that in the beginning of the, everybody has to, all students have to understand the stretching and warming up before you learn dancing, because this is very important. Most people are lazy about it. If you are lazy about it, you will suffer in future. I mean, you will have lots of injuries. You will think you're young and you will get away with it for a while, but you'll be very sure, take my words, there will be loads of injuries and then you will repent. Mahalakshmi, Radhika, you must talk. Something came up. Akka is watching. Mahalakshmi Akka, she said something. Read it again. It went off. Mahalakshmi Akka said something. By the way, it was Mahalakshmi Akka's Jati. All the audio. She's my, last 30 years we have known each other. She is the one who composes Jatis. For together we sit and sort out things, and she's my guinea pig. Whatever dance I compose, she's always the first person. Without her, I don't proceed. I have to take an yes from her before I proceed. So she asked something, I missed that question.
Unless, Akka said you could have been here. He could have been here last year, Akka. This year we devote the whole year to COVID. So next year, he was due long ago. Yeah, he'll be here soon, and we can't wait. I'm sure Lakshanya, we will wait for that Vatsalya. Yeah. Anna, Lakshanya was there.
Thank you again so much, Anna. It's really appreciated before Zoom locks us all out. So everyone, do you want to unmute and just say a quick thank you? I know it's going to be very loud, but I think just a quick thank you would be nice.
Thank you so much, Anna.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you. God bless you.
Anna. Thank you.
God bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Anna. Take care. And
I enjoyed. I hope you all enjoyed.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much. We'll be in we
you.
will be in Kentucky.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.